What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we got 4 new stages to talk about for the One Piece TCG. They're all coming out in the upcoming OP-05 expansion. Some of these are good. One of these is full-on ridiculous, and I mean full-on game-changing ridiculous. It's an expensive stage, don't get me wrong. It's made, I think it might be, I'm going to double check this, I think it might be the most expensive stage we've had so far. But I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely worth it. So let's stay here and let's start off having a little bit of a look at Birdcage. And I did the translations here myself, but I have checked with a lovely Orange Samurai D, who's checked with the lovely folks over on the Discord. But I did do them myself. So yay! Oh, except one of them I checked with TCG on Twitter. But again, did them myself first. So starting off then, what do we got? We've got Birdcage. Birdcage, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely ridiculously full-on broken. It is a 5-cost stage, which, as I've said, extremely expensive. It is a Don Quixote pirate stage, and it says, if your leader is Don Quixote do Flamingo, all characters with a cost of 5 or less will not become active during both players' refresh phase. That is huge. If you play this at a point where your opponent doesn't have characters over than 5 cost, or honestly, even if you've just got better ones than they do, you will win. You will win a lot of games, ladies and gentlemen. You will win an awful lot of games. But it's not just that. Because at the end of your turn, if you have 10 Don cards on your field, remember that is the maximum, KO all rested characters with a cost of 5 or less. Yep. Now, it's really important that it's at the end of your turn, because basically what that means is it gives you a little bit of a choice. You might be able to refresh some of your characters at the end of your turn. You may choose not to play your characters so that they don't end up kind of falling into the trap. That's kind of something you could be having to play around with here. But very important to note, all 5-cost or lower characters will be KO'd if they are rested, but any that are rested don't become active during each player's refresh phase. Yeah. Kind of silly, ladies and gentlemen, kind of silly. But it's really important to note that second part only comes in when you've got 10 Don. And at this stage, I think we need to remind ourselves about the Don Quixote do Flamingo leaders we've got. Because frankly, we haven't got very many of them, and really here, we've got one. I know we don't actually have one, but bearing in mind this is a green stage here, so come on. You kind of need to be playing one that's green here, or else you're not playing this. So we got one. We've got the one from OP-04. Yes, technically there was the Doflamingo leader in Romance Dawn in OP-01, but that's blue, you can't play it. Now, crucially, the Doflamingo leader in OP-04 is a dual colour green and purple, and that's actually incredibly important because the second part of the skill activates when you have 10 Don on your field. And we all know at this stage that one of the things that purple decks do so well is they have a bunch of cards that will shuffle Don cards back into your deck. And what I'm talking about here is that you can basically, well, you can delay this pretty much for as long as you want. So you can just sit here and make sure your opponent's cards don't unsuspend, don't become activated. And then when the time is right, you can have 10 Don cards at the end of your turn and KO them all. I.e., you keep your opponent's ones rested, you play some cards that unsuspend yours or wait till you're ready with bigger characters or whatever, then you make sure you've got 10 Don at the end of your turn, and then your opponent's characters all get deleted. Yours as well, of course, but you don't mind so much at that point. This card is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Remember, for as long as this stadium is out, the 5-cost characters never refresh during anybody's turn. And then when you've got 10 cards on the field, 10 Don cards on the field, then you go and KO them. This is ridiculous. There are decks out there, Trafalgar Law decks, for instance, very often only play 5 cost or lower characters. There will be others in the future, and I'm telling you now, ladies and gentlemen, there are going to be a bunch of decks that are just not ready for this, that basically just fall to this stadium. You are going to have to play counters very specifically to this stadium. When I told you that this stadium was proper job full on broken, I meant it. There will be many games that are decided by this stadium being in play. Now, the others aren't quite on that level, but they're still pretty fun and they still deserve to be talked about. So we've got ourselves Upper Yard. It's the Sky Island Stadium. 1 cost, yellow stadium, on play. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Sky Island card and add it to your hand, and then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay, fine. It might as well be an event card, honestly. I'm not being funny here. It basically might as well be an event card. Seriously, if you want to play a stage, play a different stage. I'm just not a fan of this one. I think 99 times out of 100, there's going to be another stage I'd rather play instead. Maybe that's just me. So then we've got Sacred Marijoa, or however it's actually pronounced. And we've got there a 1-cost stadium. During your turn, character cards that cost 2 or more and have the Celestial Dragon trait cost 1 less to play from your hand. Yeah, this is actually kind of cool. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is, if you're playing a Celestial... Now, we don't have enough Celestial Dragons at least revealed at the moment to make this worth it, alright? But maybe one day we will. And if we get to a stage where Celestial Dragons are viable, this is going to be fun. It's 2 cost or more to stop you just playing a 1-cost card for free. Means you're always going to have to play for your cards. But there's also no 1 per turn thing here. It just says during your turn. So what that means is you can basically, always just play this. And then go. And yeah. So I do really like this. I think you've got to be playing a Celestial Dragons deck, and maybe there's more from OP-05 we haven't seen yet. As it stands at the moment, I don't think we've got enough from OP-05 to really make this into a Celestial Dragon deck. So we're going to have to wait and see how this looks in the future. But I'll tell you something for nothing, ladies and gentlemen. I do think this is very, very cool. So yeah, if you're playing Celestial Dragons, I do think this is actually a really good stage, and I like it quite a bit. And then we finish off with Revolutionary Army Headquarters. Now, this is a 1-cost red stage. Yes, they're all 1-cost except for Birdcage. I've checked, by the way, with the lovely folks over at onepiece-cardgame.dev. Actually, up till now, we've not even had a 4-cost stage. 3 has been the absolute maximum. There's been a couple, like Onagashima, which is a very good stage, incidentally, but that's basically it. That's all we've seen so far. Couple of 3-cost stages. So, yeah. 5 is a very expensive stage. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about another 1-cost stage. And this one I like quite a bit as well. Because what we've got is a 1-cost card. Activate main. You may trash a card from your hand and rest this stage. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Find the Revolutionary Army and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, I've made no secret of the fact that I'm a fan of Revolutionary Army. This is the thing that I am really properly excited about from OP-05. The Bello Betty leader is one that I absolutely love here. And, we've got Bello Betty, the character card, which can actually go and search out your Revolutionary Army characters. It's one of those on-play go and search like we've seen a million times with a million different kinds of decks. Now we've got it in a stage as well. Do remember, though, that the leader, it buffs 3 of your Trigger or Revolutionary Army characters by 3,000, but to do so you have to trash a card from your hand. A Revolutionary Army card from your hand, incidentally. Here, you got to trash a card from your hand. Clearly, they're trying to make it a little uncomfortable with Revolutionary Army, making sure that you are going to have to wreck your hand a little bit in order to get the maximum value out of all of your cards, which honestly, most of the time, I don't think is a terribly big deal anyway, but just, something to bear in mind. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. 4 new stages, 4 things worth getting excited about, and now it's over to you guys. Which of these 4 cages, well, I was going to say 4 stages are you most excited about? But look, it's obviously Birdcage. And that's why I tripped over my words there. But which one other than Birdcage are you most excited about? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at Lawasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays.